Demonic possession is something that has been talked about quite a few times throughout this channel's history, whether it is about shadow beings, demons themselves, or having it potentially being the reasoning for a specific event. Well, today's topic shall fall under the latter of this list, as a story was brought to my attention, done so actually by another YouTuber whose amazing channel will be linked down in the description below. But what we have is being called by many as a mass case of hysteria, and by few, a mass demonic possession. Now, I'm sure a few people will be a little confused about all of this, some probably thinking that if something of this nature were to happen, that they would have heard of it. Well, so did I when I first heard about this news by someone who isn't part of the news. Perhaps major news outlets did touch base upon this. Some of my info is coming from the UK-based Mirror, so there is that, but from what I can see, it doesn't seem to be the most major topic out there, so I can understand why it could easily fly underneath some people's radars. I want to stop my rambling for a moment and play a clip from the event, where nearly 100 school children down in a school in Peru suffered from this strange-like hysteria, many claiming that a large man in black was attempting to kill them. I'll discuss more information and alternative points that I have come up with afterwards as to not sway people's opinions and original thoughts. If you are wearing any headphones, a fair warning, parts tend to get very loud, and for any viewers who do not take well to children in pain, viewer discretion will be advised. If you wish to skip or have already viewed this video, chapter times will be in the comments below for you to advance to the next part of this video. So I want to start all this off by reading a small excerpt from the article discussing this event written by the Mirror. Quote, "In what is being described as a mass case of demonic possession, the pupils in Peru are experiencing seizures alongside their horrifying hallucinations. Experts have struggled to explain the strange ongoings, which also include widespread convulsions and fainting at the school, reportedly built on a mafia graveyard." End quote. I like this little section due to being a key point for discussion for either side of the spectrum, both believers and skeptics on the matter. Now, here's the thing. A lot of firm believers out there are going to say that the whole graveyard stick will surely mean that the school is haunted or cursed. I do not fully believe this myself due to me not really seeing all graveyards as a place where ghosts and spirits have to hang out. Though, if we look at the counter side of this argument, the mass amount of hallucinations could also be contributed to a few more natural reasons, such as the exposure to some forms of gases, most likely either carbon monoxide or nitrous oxide, or more simply, a mass case of overheating or dehydration. Though the idea of similar hallucinations for the latter explanation causes it to become a little less probable. Something else I noticed was the fact that many students reported to have been fainting across the school at the exact same time. While many students also have been experiencing seizures and convulsions, it is important to note that diseases such as epilepsy are more commonly developed by older adults and younger children, and as the age group for this school is anywhere from 12 to 14, they fit into that demographic. However, I do not know for certain that this is the case, as a seizure is a sudden surge of electrical activity in the brain. So for all of these students who reportedly suffer from seizures all at once in different rooms, something should have caused this to happen. Something not within the student, unless all of these people had the disorder developing and it all decided to kick in at the exact same time. However, there truly are many different variables that could be responsible for this type of constant activity. Lack of oxygen to the brain, sodium levels being out of whack. There are a load of medical conditions that could cause convulsions as well. I was unable to find anything that relates to natural events or climate conditions to cause seizures or any chemical reactions, although I am sure there are some forms of fumes or gases that could cause some sort of reaction to the brain. Though the second half of the discussion is honestly the more interesting of the two, I mean, who doesn't really want to talk about mass possessions? But again, I do not know if this is properly titled unless there are nearly 100 demons swarming around the school. I do not and cannot see it actually being a true possession. However, if it does truly turn out to be something paranormal, there are a few theories that I could potentially see coming to fruition. Clearly, I am not the most supportive of demons as being the solution, especially since I tend to see the blaming of devil and demons as being a sort of a scapegoat or a cop-out for most people, which is sort of sad. It is important to point out that these events of this nature, or with similar strange behaviors and activities with individuals, has occurred and blamed on devils before. The school in Malaysia not long ago, reports down in Mexico, and even events that happened in the past, such as the dancing plague, which we had talked about in an earlier video, or even the events of the Salem witch trials and the Black Plague, in which many people assumed and thought that evil was at hand during the whole process, even though science sort of dismissed the latter one. Though there are other paranormal beings that could explain what has been happening to all these students, not just demons. Simple spirits of humans have been known to be able to implant thoughts and images into people's minds. For all we know, this could easily be an extremely powerful soul. Things such as shadow beings and people, creatures that we have no explanation for as well, who are known to try to kill children either through accidents or pushing them into killing themselves. These beings could easily explain why the children are also seeing a large black figure coming after them. Other creatures that could be at fault are the Hat Man, the Hook Man, Boogeyman, etc. I know it kind of sounds like a superhero comic up in here right now, but everyone seems to have their last name ending in man. Looking into the location itself though, yes, I know there is the graveyard situation, and I am not disclaiming it as it being a possibility. I personally just do not see it as being the best answer. However, there are a few things known as mountain spirits in Peru. Not all reports of them being malevolent spirits, but it isn't something out of the realm of possibility. With the location of the school being settled on the high plateau regions, with an elevation being around 1/5 of a mile, there is a small possibility that these could also be the culprits as well. But in all fairness, I do not know the answer as to why these children are suffering. All I do know is what the experts on this case know, that it started in late April and has been carrying on since then, with children fainting, vomiting, foaming in the mouth, and suffering from seizures. We do know that the school is believed to have been built on a graveyard, but this could not be 100% confirmed. There is a lot of different ways that this could go, and hopefully we can solve the mystery and explain what is happening to these children. If there's anything that I may have left out, or if you guys have any stories or legends similar to this, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to read all the stories you guys got. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I shall see you guys all soon. Thank you for staying with us to the end. If you enjoyed this journey, hit the like button down below and leave a comment in the comment section. I always consider suggestions for new videos and topics, so do not be shy. Also, do not forget to subscribe in order to stay up to date on all things unexplained. Until then, I hope to see you again next time as we take another trip into the realm of the unknown.